I know it's good for you. Maybe it makes you look great just to attack the president. But I want you to say, and the president doesn't have to pronounce himself on currently, he said it is wrong. He has clearly said in church that the altar is a sacred place. It should not be a place for political rhetoric or violence, etc. He has made his pronouncement. The Minister of Interior has made his pronouncement. The IG has already said it's with the Internal Affairs Unit. And for me to hear one of your other leaders saying that we are not going to go and report to the police. You know, one of the things about being a leader, you have to be tenacious, you have to be resilient. You go, you report, you make your report public, keep a copy of your statement, let people know that you have tried to exhaust all the channels that are available for you to use legally. But not just throw your hands in the air and say, I'm not going to the police. We owe that to Kenyans as leaders. You cannot just give up in that case. And lastly, allow me to say something.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much, guys, for your greatest support. Now, fellow Kenyans, before we go far or before we get deeper into this discussion, let me humbly request you that if at all we are meeting for the first time, please don't forget to click the subscribe button. You can as well like, you can share, drop me your comment in the comment section, tell me what you think and where exactly you are watching this video from. Thank you very much for our returning subscribers. My community, people like Caroline March, LB254, Pauline, people like folks. I really appreciate Charlie Blake. I really appreciate what you're doing. You are an amazing team, actually. Since we started this channel, we are almost now at 20,000. I really appreciate you guys. Thank you, God bless you. Asanteni sana. Let us keep on coming to our new subscribers. Please don't forget to always watch the videos and also tell me what you think at the comment section. As I do say that feedback is normally the key thing in any form of communication. I would love to know what you think or maybe what we need to do as far as Bonita Media is concerned, so that we can make the channel grow in all the angles, in all the areas, all the sectors, at least for something better, because you know we are all working for a better tomorrow. And that is why we are doing this. So I request you guys, if you feel like there is something that maybe I need to know or we need to do in this channel, you can tell me so that at least we improve on it. And I think all shall be well. Now, let's talk about this thing for a very few minutes. But before we get deeper into this, let me just brief you that Gladys Boss, Sholei, that is the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, is always trying so much to defend William Ruto. I know people are going to say that, you know, why can't she defend William Ruto? You know, she's a lawyer, she's the best lawyer for that matter. And apart from, besides being a lawyer, Gladys Boss Sholei is a member of parliament. And also, she is a Kalenjin and William Ruto is a Kalenjin. So what do you expect? But I don't want us to look at it in that angle. You understand? But before we get deeper into it, please, I want you to listen to what she said. And then we discuss the main point. Listen to her.
I think it's rather unfair and very careless for the Member of Parliament for Kajiado from Kajiado to say that the president is to blame. I think it's looking rather fashionable, or it gives you bonga points to blame the president. We have institutions in this country. The reason after we had the 2010 constitution, we set up IPOA. We have the Internal Affairs Unit under the police who undertake investigations. We have the Minister of Interior who has pronounced himself and has called for investigations, and investigations are ongoing. If we are honest people, let us allow the investigations to be completed. Right. Because the problem is we do not allow investigations to be completed. And I think it's also very wrong for you to say, by the mere fact that William Ruto was a member of parliament for Eldoret North at the time during the violence of 2007, where the Kiambaa Church was attacked, is wrong. First of all, if any of you watches the footage of 2007, William Ruto was in KICC defending the vote count at that time for Raila Odinga. If you remember, he was nowhere near Eldoret at that time. In fact, and then you don't even know where Kiambaa Church is. Kiambaa Church is on the side of Keses. Yes, and Nyera and Apkwe. William Ruto is from Tarbo. It's different places. In fact, I know Kiambaa Church very well. It's walking distance from my parents' home. So I know it. So you cannot begin to cast aspersions on people on things that were investigated and looked into.
But it's a fact. She was a member of...
And what you need to look at is if you look at the report...
I think she's making a fair point.
Yeah. And then also you need to have read the reports.
Yeah.
I interacted with the Kenya National Human Rights Commission at the time when I was preparing the Kenya Reparations Bill. And we looked into those issues. We have a list of the people who are harmed, people who are lost, people who died. All that information is available. It was presented to Parliament in 2018 when I was putting my bill. So I want you to study those things before you start casting aspersions. I know it's good for you. Maybe it makes you look great just to attack the president. But I want you to say... And the president doesn't have to pronounce himself on currently, he said it is wrong. He has clearly said in church that the altar is a sacred place. It should not be a place for political rhetoric or violence, etc. He has made his pronouncement. The Minister of Interior has made his pronouncement. The IG has already said it's with the Internal Affairs Unit. And for me to hear one of your other leaders saying that we are not going to go and report to the police. You know, one of the things about being a leader, you have to be tenacious, you have to be resilient. You go, you report, you make your report public, keep a copy of your statement, let people know that you have tried to exhaust all the channels that are available for you to use legally. But not just throw your hands in the air and say, I'm not going to the police. We owe that to Kenyans as leaders. You cannot just give up in that case. And lastly, allow me to say something. Sheila, I'm sorry, I apologize if you think I came out saying that it's just a check. It's not about a check. When you go through a reparation process, for example, let's use the immediate example of South Africa. Some of the people were not compensated, and neither were the people who had committed the crimes charged. It was just, in some cases, it was agreed that you confess that I killed your family members. You say this is where I buried them in this mass grave, for the family to get closure. Closure is part of compensation. Some parents want to know, when my child left the house, where were they and what were they doing? And their involvement in the protest, so they can understand my child was not a criminal. My child was a hero, as you say. So I think that is the compensation. That's what we talk about. It's a process. As he says, it's a process.
Deputy Speaker.
Now, let's discuss. Gladys Boss Sholei is talking about the issue of the security in the country. I think if I got it right, that is the main thing that she is talking about. Concerning the security in this country. Of course, all of us knows very well that security has never been that good in this country. People have been killed, people have always been attacked, theft everywhere. Yet we have with the DCI, we have with the NIS, we have with the IPOA. They've not been doing what is required. When you try to look at even the police being led by Kanja, Douglas Kanja, together with everybody, since the time of Kome. Now we have got Kanja. We have a lot of people. We look at the DCI, we look at the IPOA, the NIS. What are they doing? Lorin Haji, what are these guys doing? The expectation of citizens, or our expectation as citizens of the country, we really expect that when something has happened, like there is something that really needs a very deep investigation, a very serious investigation, like maybe a murder case. Let's for example, the death of General Gola, the death of Ongondo Were, the death of this guy that was killed in police custody, where police officers were saying that he hit his head on the wall of the cell. So those are the kind of deaths that we call mysteries. So such issues or such occurrences, such things, whenever they happen in the country, what is expected, or what we as a nation, or what we people expect, is that the government is going to do deeper investigation. Like, we have to know what really happened, what really conspired, what could have caused, or what could have made such thing to happen. But then, when it reaches a point, or maybe when it comes to a point whereby now the government is assuming everything, and very well, there is this saying that, you can't defend the government. The government cannot investigate itself. That is the naked truth. There is no single day that the government has ever investigated itself. You see, that is what is there. That the government the government has never investigated itself. So when we bring up the issue of the NIS, we bring up the issue of the IPOA, we have to accept this, that I really don't understand. You understand? I'm really trying to I'm really trying to fathom. I'm really trying to think deep. I'm really trying to figure out what exactly is going on. What exactly she's trying to say. You know, when she says that when she says that William Ruto is not to blame, so I'm trying to wonder who is this person that's supposed to be blamed? Who is this person that is supposed to be blamed when such things are happening? You know, I've been listening to her. I've been listening to her talking about these things, and I've been like, okay, so what are you really trying to say? Are you trying to defend the bad deeds or all these bad things that are happening? This government, one thing I know is that this government is the government of William Ruto. He's the president. So if anything happens, the only person that we are supposed to ask, if at all anything happens, if it happens that things happen in this country, you know, this is his government. It is not the government of Boss Sholei. It is not the government of Gituku. It is not the government of any other person. It wasn't the government of Geshagwa. It wasn't the government of Raila Odinga. This is the government of William Arap Samoei Ruto, because he's the president, he's the head of state. So if at all anything happens, that requires answering, requires somebody that is supposed to answer, then all the questions must be directed to the president, because he gives orders. He gives orders. So tell me, what do you think is going to happen, or what do we really think, or do you really think that we can get the right answers if the IPOA is controlled by the government, the NIS is controlled by the government, the DCI is controlled by the government, all the forces, all the parts, like the police, even the courts are being controlled by the government? You know, the executive has really taken over everything. Both the judiciary, it has really taken over everything. That is why you realize that things are not working the way they're supposed to work. Things are not moving on the way we expect, or the way it's expected. It is because there is a force. So whenever these people are trying to do something, there is a force that is pushing or pulling them. Like it is a done or no done thing. You understand? So that is exactly why I feel like whenever these guys get a chance to defend the president, they really need to think deep. You know, let me be precise. It is not bad to defend the president. It is not bad to defend, because yes, at the end of the day, he needs protection. But then now there is a way you are defending this man too much, to a point that now we as the citizens, we start questioning. When we try to connect the dots, when we try to connect what has been going on, everything that has been happening, now we'll be like, okay, all these things have been going on. Hizi vitu zote zimekuwa zikifanyika. Then now, if hizi vitu zote zimekuwa zikifanyika, what is the right channel, or who is the right person that we can ask all these questions? Who is going to give us answers? Because if we ask the IPOA is taking ages and ages to just give us a verdict of what happened. When we go to the NIS is not giving us the right answers that we are asking for. When you go to the DCI is taking years and years. Like the DCI can arrest somebody, and then in 2-3 days time you hear that person escaped. So you wonder, how did this person manage to escape from police, or from police custody? Is it because maybe it was something like let's say for instance, I think this is a scenario that everybody understands. The guy that was called the quarry guy, who was killing ladies, who was accused of killing ladies, you know, and wakatakata naeka kwa gunia alafu anaenda natupa kware. Now, when they arrested the guy that they arrested, they framed, actually. I think it was just a game. They framed this guy and then they arrested this guy. Huyu mjamaa atakuwa Mkenya. And then after sometimes, you hear that this person escaped. So you ask yourself, how did the police, how did all these forces allow such a person, such a criminal? Because that one is a very sensitive and a very serious case, that you can't just wake up in the morning and say that this person escaped. Such a person is supposed to be put under tight security, because he's supposed to answer very many questions. So when you are coming, you as a person that maybe we expect to get answers from you. Now you are telling us that this person escaped. Now, when he was escaping, what did you do? Where were you? What were you doing? And then now you hear Gladys Sholei telling us that a lot of people blames the president. I'm still going back to that question, that if we don't ask the president questions, if we don't blame the president, because at the end of the day, this is his government. I want us to understand that the main reason as to why people are not against William Ruto. Let us be precise. Let us just be true. Let us understand something, that people are not mad. Actually, people are not even against William Ruto. What people are against is bad governance. So if William Ruto today can just say that I want to be a responsible president, and I really want to do what is right, I really want to do 1, 2, 3 things right, and this is how I want to tackle them, this is the way I want to handle them, I think it will be very, very easy for everybody to understand, maybe for everybody now to be on the same page with him. And that is where now people will, these guys that are defending William Ruto, saying that, oh, what were against William Ruto, will understand that people are not against the president. Nobody's against the president, by the way. No one is against the president. People are against what his government is doing. So if his government can just do what, we know that no one is perfect, but at least just adjust and do what is right. The expectation of people, even when they are doing the election or maybe when they are electing, is you do the right thing. Just do what is right. After doing what is right, nobody will question you. You'll not even hear anybody complaining. But if things are not done the right way, then I think there will be complaints. There will be complaints every morning. There will be complaints every afternoon. There will be complaints every evening. There will be complaints every night. From January to December, from 1st to 31st, every month. In fact, the cycle will continue. If things are not done the right way, then this cycle will continue, and it will never, mark my words, it will never ever come to an end until the president and the people that surrounds him realize that, okay, yes, we were elected by these people. What exactly do these people want? And are we in a position to do for them what they want? Because, when they were electing us, there is that kind of expectation that they have. You understand? Like, okay, we expect the president, the deputy, and his government, actually the whole regime, to do 1, 2, 3 things. And then now people will sit down and start asking that, okay, since you said that you are going to do 1, 2, 3 things, during the campaign, you brought your agenda. And then now in your agenda, you are like, okay, I'm going to do this, and this. You promised a lot of things. And then now people will be sitting down and asking themselves that, okay, when you are campaigning, when you brought up your agenda, you said that you will do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, up to 10. The question that now we need to ask ourselves is, have you done what you promised? Have you really done all the things? Or even if you've not done all the things, have you done even a quarter of what you promised? If you've not done even a quarter of what you promised, then I don't think if there is any need of giving you that chance. There's no need of giving you that opportunity to lead, of asking for another chance, because the chance that we gave you, what did you do with it? That is the question. Okay, we gave you an opportunity. What did you really do with it? We told you that, Mr. President, this is what we want, and this is how we want it. What did you do? Did you do what we expected? Did you do what you promised that you were going to do? No, you didn't. So what do you expect us to do? You expect us to just accept that things are going to work? You just expect us to accept to keep on moving on with the promises that things will work, yet eventually we know that things are not going to work? Come on. Let us just try and be realistic here. I normally say that in this channel, we have to be realistic. We just have to say things as they are. And that is exactly what is happening. Let us just call spade a spade. Now, the point is this. You are saying that the president is not to blame. Now, if the president is not to be blamed, then tell us what has been going on in the NIS. Tell us what has been going on with the IPOA. Why is it that things are happening and the IPOA is not giving us the results as we expect? Because our expectation is when something happens and the IPOA gets in the field to do the investigation, they have to give us the answers. They have to answer our questions immediately. If not immediately, then there should be some time. There should be a period where this thing should happen. You understand? So I really don't know what you think. But personally, I really feel like these guys are defending somebody that cannot be defended. You can't defend somebody that is not ready to be defended. Tukubaliane tu hapa. You can't. So you tell me why these guys are trying to defend somebody who right now is on the ground dancing like literally. Let me ask you a question. You've been in this country for a very long time, I guess, because you know this channel is not for the kids. It's for people who are above 18 years of age, who understands what politics is and how things have been going on in this country since 1997, since 1963. Okay, even if you are not there, let me bring it this way. Even if you were not there let's talk about 1963, but at least you've read the news, you've read the history of what happened, what really happened, and all that. So at least you have the knowledge. That is why I'm saying that this channel, I'm not talking with the people who are below 18 years. I'm talking about I interact with people who are above 18 years. Who have really grown in this field, in the level of politics, and they know how these things have been working. So you understand. So if you've been in politics for a very long time, you've understood, you've known how politics works. You've followed the elections. Let's talk about after the 1964 when Kenyatta took power. We went up to 1997. We went up after 1997. We went to 2002, 2007. All those years, you understand? Then, of course, all of us knows what happened in 2007, 2008, and then we went to 2012, went to 2017, 2022. You know what has been going on, and you know all the presidents that have been there. Have you, even when you are reading the history and all that, for those who are there, tell me the president that has ever behaved the way the current president is behaving. It is not that we are blaming anybody, but we're just asking. Just tell me that, you know, Boni, President Kibaki behaved this way, strangely. President Moi, yes, Moi was uneducated. And that is what he used to say. But then, you know, it is better to be uneducated, but now work with people who are more educated, who understands the economy. That is exactly what Moi was doing. That is exactly what made Moi become who he was. Even though Moi had got his weaknesses, he was somehow a dictator. But Moi, we can let's just give him some credit. And then now let's go to Kibaki. Kibaki was not an economist, but he had people. He had people who could sit down and maybe strategize a lot of things with him. I remember there was a time that I was doing an interview with the Professor Fredo Gola. That is the leader of LDP, And Professor Fred Ogoda was telling me that Bon, we worked with, he normally calls me Bon. So he was telling me that, we used to work with Kibaki. Now, this is what Kibaki used to do. Kibaki would go to Kabarak University, because that is where they used to meet. You'd go to Kabarak with Kibaki for a meeting, or maybe any other place for a meeting. And then one thing that Kibaki would say is that, I hope you've come up with the right thing. So what Kibaki wanted to see was, have you come up with if it's all about the proposal, have you come up with a proposal? Now, this proposal that we've come up with, how sure are you that this proposal is going to work? If you're not sure that it's going to work, then you're not ready for the job. So what he wanted to see is the readiness of the people. Like, if it's in the area of the economy, what do you have? If it's in the area of the security, what do you have? Area of education, what do you have? So that when we sit down, we are just coming up now. You're telling me that, okay, you are telling Kibaki that now this is the amount of money that we need now for this thing to go. Now, what is just signs for that money to be allocated, knowing very well that that money is not going to is not going to be misused. But look at us right now. Can we be proud? Can we proudly say that our education sector is working? Can we proudly say that our health sector is working? Can we proudly say that a security sector is working? No. Because the people that are there are the people of knowing it all. And if you mix knowing it all with the leadership, you'll mess up big times. So fellow Kenyans, I would like to listen to your thought at the comment section concerning this issue of Gladys Boss Sholei trying to defend William Ruto. I've said this, and mark my words, that defending the president is not bad. But now, in what capacity? Why are you doing this? Why are you doing it? Is it really worth it? If it's worth it, yes, fine. Well and good, continue doing it. But if it's not worth it, then I don't see the point. You understand? So please, let me know what you think at the comment section, and also don't forget to click the subscribe button. As I say that, please, feedback is not the key thing in any form of communication. Tell me what you think, where you're watching this video from, and if it's the first time that we're meeting, please don't forget to subscribe. Until we meet again in the next video, if it's possible, I have been your host, Bonfessor. Big.